Snooker Loopy, not a we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls of the snooker cue. Pot the red and screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker Loopy, not a we. We're all Snooker Loopy. Cheers, boys.
Hello and welcome to the Snooker Loopy Podcast. My name is Tom Mayhew and I'm joined as always by Rocksteady Joe Hannard.
Good evening, Hazel. Good evening, everybody at home. And welcome back to the Snooker Loopy Podcast. Back for a brand new season, Tom. And yeah, very exciting. Obviously, the season's already begun. We've got our Q School predictions to go through. All of that good stuff. And obviously, the season to preview ahead, I guess, because we're back on it.
Can't believe how quickly it comes around. I do feel like the World Championship just ends in May, and somehow we're in June. Already there's qualifiers. There's talking points from those qualifiers, and there's new players and there's old players who've disappeared, and we'll cover that all in our coverage of Q School and our season preview. So shall we jump straight into the Q School predictions, Joe? I think that's the one.
This is efficiency. This is going to be the shortest ever podcast, Tom. But yes, Q School, of course.
Hold on, Joe. Forget that, Joe. Shall we cue the music now?
Right, see you later, folks. Good to see you for this episode. Obviously Q School took place sort of the mid to end of May, didn't it? And we picked two teams, as we always do, and we will be going through and seeing how many matches each of them won. In previous years, we've done fairly similar. 2023, I got 26 points, you got 29. We both predicted one of the players to get through. Last year, I absolutely hammered you. I got 34 points, predicting two of the Q School winners, and you got 19 points. And your best performer was Dylan Emery, who got 7 points throughout the two Q Schools. But this year, just to remind you of our teams, you went for Stephen Wardropper, Anthony Hamilton, Alfie Burden, Richard Binns, William Lemons, who was your team captain, Nicholas Montreux, Billy Castle, and Andrew Higginson. So on paper, a pretty strong team. You obviously had a couple of joke ones in there with your Richard Binns taking out the trash and all of that.
There was a headline from the official WST website where it said Anthony Hamilton takes out the bins.
Yeah.
After he beat Richard Binns. I thought, lovely, they're getting on board.
Oh, it was brilliant, yeah. And my team, I went for David Grace, Alexander Ursenbacher, Richard Dickpipe, Sean O'Sullivan, who was my team captain, Lee Shanker, Gary Skipworth, Rory McLeod, and Andres Petrov. So I think on paper, quite an evenly balanced side. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I know some of the people that went through, but I can't really remember how many matches certain players won and all of that. So that's going to be quite exciting. So who would you like to go through first, Tom? Would you like to go through your team, or would you like to go through mine?
I mean, let's start with the underdog. Let's start with me, and we can put my score first, and then if you're way ahead, it won't be as embarrassing as if we do it the other way around.
Yes, true. Right, so Stephen Wardropper is your first player. He did win his first match, 4-0, so he's got 1 point there. And then he also got a walkover against Dylan Emery, so straight away, 2 points for Stephen Wardropper before he went out to Phil O'Kane in the third round. So 2 points from Q School 1. Q School 2, let's find him. Where is he? Oh, unfortunately, he went out 4-0 to Alex Millington, but still a respectable 2 points from Stephen Wardropper. I feel like that could be his best ever performance for you, if I'm honest.
I mean, probably. I mean, shall we end the feature there? What a fantastic win for me there. Wonderful victory. Well done. Thank you, Stephen Wardropper. At the end of the Q School coverage, I'm the champion. Thank you, everyone. And let's move on to... Shall we cue the laugh?
Tom's had a bit of a rush this afternoon, isn't he? Look at this. But anyway, Anthony Hamilton, as you mentioned, he beat Richard Binns in the second round. So we'll give him 2 points for that because, he won in the second round there, beat Richard Binns. He then beat Gary Thompson in the third round, so he's on 3 points now, but did go out to Patrick Whelan. Quite surprising, really, that Anthony Hamilton went out to a virtual nobody in the fourth round. 4-2 he went out there, so he gets 3 points from Q School round 1. And then Q School 2, he beat Luke Pinches in round 2, so we'll give him 2 points for that. So he's currently on 5. And then he went out to Uma Dickme in round 3, 4-2. So Anthony Hamilton is out.
Who did he go out to? Excuse me?
Dickme.
Okay, fair enough.
He went out. He gets 5 points though because he got the third round in one of them, and he got to the fourth round in another. But Anthony Hamilton, we'll talk about in a bit, but no longer a professional, which is really sad, isn't it?
Yeah, he announced his retirement after not getting through Q School, which is a shame because he's one of the class of '91, which is not talked about anywhere near as much as '92, but it was the likes of Mark King and Mark Davis, who's still on tour, Fergal O'Brien, who recently retired, and I think it's just Mark Davis left of that little group, and slowly we're losing all of the sort of journeyman pros who were around from the early '90s, which is a bit of a shame because they're not the headline makers, they're not necessarily the people who win world championships, but they're still regular members of the tour who are very decent, consistent professionals. And I think Anthony Hamilton was a very well liked player, but from fans and pros alike. So hopefully we still see him about coaching or something.
Yeah, plenty of times. The Crucible top 16 player, won a ranking tournament, so top player really. Speaking of 90s journeymen, we've got Alfie Burden next, and he won in his first match against Robert Reed, but then went out to Alex Millington in the
Millington
next round.
Twice? Yeah. Oh, I've got a nemesis, as Alex Millington bloke.
So he gets 1 point for Q School 1. Then Q School 2, he won his first match 4-0. He beat Gerard Green 4-2 in the next round, so he's getting 2 points there, but did go out to Simon Blackwell in a decider in the next round. So Alfie Burden gets you 3 points. Still reasonably respectable, Tom, and you're already more than halfway past last year's score here, so
yes, come on. I hope I've not started strong. I probably have.
Well done.
Oh no,
right,
are you working your way down through my... Am I going to get... Oh god.
We've got Richard Binns, who of course won his first match against James Silverwood 4-1. Then he was taken out by Anthony Hamilton, so 1 point for Q School 1. For Q School 2, he again won his first round match against Adam Gallagher 4-1, and then he lost to Ryan Davis 4-1, so 2 points for Mr. Binns there. Then we've got William Lemons. Now, of course, William Lemons will get you double points, so you will be cheering him on right now.
I am.
So, Will Lemons won his first match against Tony Knowles 4-0.
Ooh, there we
so
go.
He gets 2 points for that because he's getting double. He beat Vladislav Gradinari 4-0 in the second round there, so he's on 4 points for you so far. Then he lost 4-2 to Josh Tommond in round 3.
It was going so well.
He's currently on 4. And then he did lose in the first round to a certain Sean O'Sullivan. It was Battle of the Captains in round 1 of Q School 2. Can you believe it? And he lost. So he gets the 4 points. He gets the 4 points for that. So on to Nicholas Montreux, who I seem to think had a decent time. I did seem to think... he was somebody that did quite well. Is it Mon? How do we spell it? Is he even there? What? Where is he? Where's
He's disappeared.
It's Mortro. Sorry. Right, Mortro. So Nicholas Mortro won his first round against Jamie Gimblett 4-1 before losing to Barry Pinches in the second round. So he gets 1 point from that. And then in the second Q School, he won 4-1 against Richard Dickpipe. That's
why you recognised his name, because
Yes.
he took out your favourite player.
Then Matt Williams in the second round. So he gets you 3 points, does Nicholas Mortro, because he lost against Dean Young in the next round. So 3 points for him. Billy Castle is next. So let's have a little look at Billy Castle.
Come on, Billy.
Now then. He won his first round match against Evan Munro. He beat Dean Layson, Dan Layson, Spanishman, 4-0. He beat that one. He then beat Sean O'Sullivan, 4-2. So he's now got 3 points, but he did lose against George Pragnell in the next round. So he's currently on 3 going into round 2. Then he won 4-0 against Kalen Patel in round 1 and beat Simon Bedford 4-1. So that's 5 points for Billy Castle. And then lost out to Ian Burns in round 3 of Q School 2. So 5 points for Billy Castle. That takes you past last year's total, Tom.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you. I'm sorry the castle got burnt, but luckily it's still going. So I'll take that. All I could do is improve on last year and then inevitably get beaten because Joe's picked someone who's probably qualified.
So Andrew Higginson is your last hope here, Tom. He's your last hope. So he won against Joel Connolly in the second round, so we'll give him 2 points for that. And then went out to Stuart Carrington. I mean, what a tussle in such an early round.
That's a ridiculously difficult tussle early on, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, 2 people who've been pros, so well over, both of them over 15 years or so, and they're facing in the second round of Q School. That's absolute madness.
Yeah. So Andrew Higginson then won the second round in Q School 2, so he's now on 4 points. He beat Dean Reynolds in the next round, so that puts him on to 5 points now. But he did lose in round 4 in a decider to a certain David Grace. So it seems in the Captain Goodspeed Tom battle, it hasn't gone your way. But an extra 5 points there from Andrew Higginson takes you up to a grand total of 29. Doesn't quite beat your record of 2023, but it matches it at the very least. And you did win that year with 29 points. So there's still hope for you, Tom, as we now go through Captain Goodspeed's total. So we're going to start off with the aforementioned David Grace. Now, David Grace is one of the people that has got a tour card, so he straight away gets 10 points for that.
I was so happy with 29, and then straight away it's cut down.
Now, my second pick, Tom, was Alexander Ersenbacher, who, of course, also qualified. So he gets 10 points off the bat as well.
Let's have a quick run through the players they beat, just to
just extend your suffering, shall we say? So Ersenbacher beat Farzan Mohammed, James Cahill, David Grace, interestingly, Ashley Hugel, and Ryan Davis on his way to winning Q School 1. And David Grace, for Q School 2, he beat Callum Beresford, George Pragnell, Andrew Higginson, Barry Pinches, and Jack Borick in the final round there. So well done to David Grace and Ersenbach. I think they both played some quite tough opponents throughout that. So well played to both of them.
I was hoping he was going to go through it and it would have been like, oh, they beat Gary Skipworth and Richard Pipe, but it's like, no, they've beaten real players there who are decent. No offense to Gary Skipworth and Richard Pipe.
Richard Pipe, he lost 4-0 to Hamim Hussein. Do you remember the Hussein brothers?
Yeah, I do. They're coming back to haunt you.
He also lost against Montreux, so Dick Pipe is our first nil point player, unfortunately, for Dick Pipe. Sean O'Sullivan is my team captain, so he, of course, gets double points. He won one round in Q School 1, so he gets 2 points for that, before losing to Billy Castle. And then in the second one, he won against Will Lemons in the Mayhew Goodspeed Derby. But then lost to Fergal Quinn, who I believe is one of the qualifiers, actually. So 4 points for Sean O'Sullivan. Now, Lee Shanker, this is a name that we've not seen too much, so I'm a bit worried. Lee Shanker lost 4-1 in Q School 1. And he lost 4-2 in Q School 2, first round. So another nil point. This is quite worrying because I'm only on 24 points at the moment.
This has got excited all of a sudden.
Gary Skipworth is next, who lost in the first round of Q School 1.
Oh my god, this is brilliant. Joe's capitulated.
And he lost in the first round of Q School 2. Oh no. Right, Rory McLeod, come on. I'm worried because I've not seen his name. Oh no. Rory McLeod lost to Alex Millington, not Millington again.
He's back.
Your nemesis.
Well, he's helped me out there.
He's helped you out this time. Right, Rory McLeod, where are you, son? There he is. So he won in round 2 of Q School 2, so that gets him 2 points. 4-0 against Aidan Murphy. And then he lost against Vladislav Gradinari, so 2 points for Rory McLeod. So it's now all resting on, Tom, Andres Petrov, who needs to get me 3 points to tie or 4 points to win by 1. We know he hasn't qualified for the tour, so it's somewhere between 0 and 5, probably. Right. So, round 1, he beat Wesley Cooper 4-0. Round 2, he beat Anton Kazakov 4-1.
No.
Round 3, he lost against Dick Me 4-3.
Yes,
no!
Dick me.
So he gets 2 points there. So it all rests on the final Q School. Oh my god, you're not going to believe this. He lost in the first round 4-3 to Jason Tart.
Jason Tart! You beauty!
So after all that, Tom, you win by 1 point. 29-28. Oh my word. Wow.
Oh, Jason Tart, I love you.
Jason Tart, Millington.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Well, there you go.
How do you feel, Joe?
I don't know how I've lost that, but looking at you, all of your players got at least 2 points, so they were consistently terrible, whereas mine were, either even worse or brilliant. So yeah.
Well, you know what they say, Joe. They say when life gives you lemons, you make a William Tart.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Jason. But yeah, well done to Tom. Tom wins it. So over the years, he has now won 2 of the 3 contests for Q School. And
Can't
it
believe
seems, Tom, when you get 29 points, you win. So that's what you need to aim for.
No more than that. I'll be disappointed if I score 35. I'll be like, damn it, it's too many points.
Too many points. But there you go, Tom. And obviously, let us know any points from any of your team of listeners at home. You know, obviously, it's a bit of fun that we do every year. But on the sort of back of Q School, congratulations to David Grace, Ian Burns, Fergal Quinn, Connor Benzie, Alex Ursenbacher, Liam Pullen, Oliver Brown, and Matush Baranovsky, who have made it onto the tour as our 8 new professionals, some returning. But yeah, very exciting to see some new names as well as some of the old on there, Tom.
Yeah, well, I mean, Matusz is another Polish player. I think we now have 3 Polish players on tour. Of course, we also had Adam Stefanov and Kasper Filipik a few years ago. So there seems to be a real Eurosport-led Polish brigade of players on the up in snooker, which is quite exciting to see. You know, a new country not just break through, but have so many different players manage to make it on tour is quite impressive.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the players starting out this year with a new tour card. Marco Fu, of course, Jimmy White getting their invitational tour cards. Rhian Evans getting a new tour card from the women's tour, and I believe Nguyen Yi as well comes through. And yeah, lots of good players sort of restarting their 2-year card. Liam Highfield is one I've seen back on the tour because I believe he didn't. I think he had a year off, didn't he?
He was on the Q tour, I think.
On the Q tour, so. Yeah, and already, you know, some of those players having great starts to the season in the qualifiers. Marco Fu getting 3 centuries in 5 frames in qualifying for Wuhan, I think it was. And then Rhian Evans has won both qualifiers so far, so she's going to be at the British Open and at the Wuhan Open. So really great to see that some of these players that are getting another chance, if you like, on tour, performing straight away.
Well, Jimmy White is also picked up a win, and you know, I looked at his scoring, and I think he made something like 3 breaks over 70. So he's
flying, isn't he?
He's flying on the table, yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be flying to Wuhan, I presume. Yes. There you go. But yeah, very exciting. Obviously, we look forward to the season, and obviously we're in the midst of a lot of qualifiers at the moment. But you know, we've got the Championship League starting tomorrow as we record this, so I'm sure that'll be really exciting. We've got the Shanghai Masters on the 28th of July. Saudi Arabia Masters on the 8th of August. So there's some big tournaments coming up towards the end of July and into the start of August. We've got the Wuhan Open towards the end of August. But some potentially big news is that I think the Home Nations tournaments are in their final year of their contract this year. So that could be something that ends after this season. Which
I mean, that would be a shame. Yeah, well, because the Welsh Open's got a lot of history. I'm sure that will continue because it's, you know, it gets its own sort of specific coverage on BBC Wales, and I'm sure that will keep going. But yeah, it'll be sad to lose the rest of them. I think particularly, you know, it's good to have the Scottish Open and generally,
Ireland,
Northern Ireland. It would be a shame to lose them because they are all places that do deserve tournaments. But we'll see it. We won't know until they announce it officially, I guess. But hopefully they do keep them on. But we don't really care about the English Open. It doesn't really make any sense because there's plenty of tournaments in England. It just seems a bit odd, really.
Yeah. Maybe add the British Open into that mix, I guess.
I like the British Open though because it has what they call the FA Cup style draw, where it's a flat draw and Anyone can play anyone.
I think maybe add that into the home nations, get rid of the English Open and have British Open as one of the home nations events.
Yeah, I think
and I guess you could have, if you wanted, the UK Championship being the sort of jewel in the crown of a home nation series, if you really wanted to do something like that. But yeah. Other news to cover as well is that Channel 5 will be covering ranking event snooker. They will be taking over the rights of Players' Championship and Tour Championship next season. And then the season after that, they will have the British Open. So ITV will be left presumably with just the Champion of Champions going forward, which is, I suppose quite sad, really.
Yeah, I will be intrigued to see. I think that's a good thing for Channel 5. I think it'll do great numbers for them, but I can't help but worry that it'll get lower numbers overall than ITV, just because ITV is a much bigger brand. So I do worry about whether that'll just be less people watching snooker or discovering snooker.
I guess Channel 5 is a proper terrestrial channel. You know, ITV4 is a little bit more difficult to find. And also, I mean, my worry with it is it going to be on the main Channel 5, or is it going to end up being on one of the offshots like 5 Action? You know, I know they've had the Club World Cup, I think. I seen the first few matches were on Channel 5, and then they seem to have moved it all over onto 5 Action, which is, you know, well down in the channel numbers. So I don't know. That's my only concern with it, I suppose.
Well, we had the World Seniors Final on Channel 5, didn't we? And they had the whole thing live, but whether they'll save that just finals and have other bits of coverage elsewhere.
All of the World Seniors was actually ended up being on 5. So I guess if they've done that, and they've done that with a 900 before, then I guess they might just block out all of their coverage for that. It'd be interesting to see which sort of coverage they go for in terms of commentators and pundits, because they've had John Virgo and Dennis commentating for them on the 900, and I think that would be a really cool dynamic if they got the likes of Hendon and Folds from ITV to come over, but also threw in Virgo and Dennis, sort of a like Eurosport and BBC mishmash. I think that would be cool.
Well, because so far they've very much gone with the in terms of the presenting team, they've kind of been, you know, because they've had Matchroom events, haven't they? So they've been kind of not Matchroom,
the Snooker Legends, isn't it?
Snooker Legends events, yeah. So they've been kind of tied to, you know, maybe contracts based there and stuff. Whereas this will be their first WST events, their first sort of official tour events. So they could go completely different. They probably have more of a scope of different people they could use compared to Snooker Legends. So they could get anyone. They could.
It could be Lee the Shirt.
It could be Lee the Shirt making his terrestrial TV comeback after 25 years or something. Finally, he's not on the internet. He's back on TV. God, imagine what shirt he'd buy with Channel 5 money.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's exciting to have new coverage of snooker, and I think now that TNT has taken over the vast majority of tournaments, I think it's important that we've actually got it on a mainline channel. And hopefully if Channel 5 finds success through it, they might be inclined to show more of the tournaments. So, you know, maybe the Home Nations events, maybe some of the China events. You never know. But exciting, I think. It's a really positive news story, I think, to have that coverage confirmed for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Channel 5, for keeping those things on TV that we don't have to pay £30 a month to watch, which is lovely.
Absolutely. Here. So, a little bit of news for you, Tom. In the playing career of Captain Goodspeed, I now have a new queue.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, well, it's Hazel Grove's 40th anniversary this year. So they had some... well, wait
40th
for
birthday,
it.
Hazel.
Wait for it. They had some cues made for them to celebrate the 40th anniversary by the cue maker who made Stuart Bingham's World Championship winning cue. So I decided to take the plunge and buy one, Tom. So I now have a cue that is made by the same guy that made Stuart Bingham's World Championship.
Who's going to win the world title? Joe's going to win the world title. It's going to happen.
Well, funnily enough, I'm unbeaten with the new cue. So there you go.
How are you finding your new cue? Is it different? Does it feel very different?
Definitely.
Because I guess the people who don't play snooker or don't play it regularly, how does it feel when you get a new cue after a long time?
Well, it's the first new cue I've ever had, other than when I got my original cue. So my old cue is sort of a two-piece where it was cut in half. My new cue is a sort of 3/4, 1/4 cue, so that's different to get used to. The fact it's like a proper handmade cue rather than it being a machine-made cue, I think makes a difference. It's a lot smoother, a lot sort of more balanced in terms of the weight. But I tried to get one that was identical in terms of length and weight, so it's as close to that to my original cue as that. Obviously, it's got a new tip on it, new ferrule, all of that. So it's a bit odd, to play with something different. It does feel strange. I guess it's like a new pair of shoes. It takes a while to sort of bed them in. But, positive signs already. I think the first match I played with it, the guy broke off and I knocked a long red in and got 49 into a maximum before missing the black.
Wow.
So that was...
You must have thought, in that moment, you must have thought you'd got like the Midas touch on this cue.
What on earth is going on? Yeah. But... yeah, I mean, it doesn't always work like that, but feeling more consistent with it. We'll see how it goes on the journey, but positive signs so far. But yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. And is it licensed by Hazel Grove? Has it got good evening Hazel Grove on it?
It's got a little sort of circular bit saying Hazel Grove 40th anniversary at the bottom of it, so there you go.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
There you go. Another news, Tom.
Loads of news.
In a year of big weddings, Ronnie O'Sullivan got himself married out of the blue.
He's copying you.
He's copying me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of surprised. I thought all the news was he'd gone through a breakup and stuff like that, but maybe marriage was the problem, and maybe he's fixed it. I don't know.
Who knows? But I guess if Ronnie is happy in his personal life, maybe we can see a new and improved Ronnie this season. He did well at the World Championship to get the semi-final, didn't he? And I've already seen him on the entry list for the Shanghai Masters, so he's certainly planning to play in that at the end of the month. So it'll be good to see, because he always does well at Shanghai. Even last season when he wasn't doing that well, I think he still got the semi-final. He did get absolutely hammered in that semi-final, but it was the same day that Ray Reardon died. I don't know if you remember that. But he was on an incredible winning run at the Shanghai Masters before that. So I'm excited to see how he gets on there at the end of this month. But yeah, good to see, that he's happy at the very least.
How did you feel seeing that he got married and you weren't invited?
Oh, well, I'm sure he feels exactly the same about not being invited to my wedding, Tom. So, not everybody is that lucky, are they, Tom?
That's true. In my head, I went, is anyone going to be invited to both? And I find that unless Dennis Taylor rocks up at your wedding, I'll be very surprised if anyone goes to both.
Well, to be honest, Tom, knowing some of the stunts you've pulled in the past, I wouldn't be that surprised.
What would happen at a snooker wedding? Do you think Dennis Taylor was the one like officiating and all that stuff, and they had like John Virgo introducing the bride before she walks through?
It'd be like when Dennis did the Masters. He'd be wearing his glittery jacket, and he'd be going for it.
Kiss the bride, Hazel.
Hazel. Evening. So, shall we go for one of our regular segments, Tom?
Let's do it. Which one do you want to do first? Music or laughter?
Should we cue the laughter first?
Let's cue the laughter. And this
Ooh,
episode, I've got a parcel from Joe, which she actually
exciting.
sent in May at some point. So it's
did,
been
yeah.
sat on my table, been waiting to be opened for a month, pretty much. So, yeah, we will see. Anything you want me to know before I open this, Joe?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, it's well wrapped. Just wrapped by Mr. Hannard himself.
Well, it is, yes. I mean, the stuff that was in there beforehand was the World Championship programs that I showed a few episodes ago. So the sort of Graham Dot ones and
Don't mention his name.
yes, we can't mention his name anymore.
Oh, okay. So what is this? Do I just take it out?
Take it out. Do it.
This is
There's a couple of things in there.
okay. So I think that's. I just want to make sure I've got everything. Always not.
He's destroying his microphone setup.
I always not quite when I'm excited by parcels. So that's everything in there. So we've got a nice empty parcel. People at home can pretend you're inside a parcel right now. So there we go. Are you ready to get
It's actually
posted,
quite
everyone?
haunting.
Are you ready to get posted, Joe? Where do you want to go?
Oh God.
To Sheffield.
To
That's right.
Sheffield, yeah.
So I've got there's two things. So which one do I open first? We'll look at first. Well, the first thing that I can see, obviously, is the World Championship Programme.
Yes.
It's a mate from 2025, so this year. I didn't even notice, because I've only seen it when you showed me it. But John Higgins on the front, interesting choice, I thought.
I guess they didn't know whether Ronnie would turn up, did they? So probably would have been Ronnie otherwise, wouldn't it? But and I guess he just won the Tour Championship, hadn't he? So there you go. One for your collection, Tom.
I mean, Kyron and Trump makes sense. Maybe I would have put Jack Jones, just because he's a previous finalist.
Was that the top three going into the World Championship? I think it was.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Was Willow not third? Or...
No, I don't think so.
This is wicked, though. Thank you, mate. Oh, here we go. Seed 1, Kyron, 2, Trump, 3, Higgins. Yeah, you're right. There we go. There we are.
Happy days.
Oh my God, look at that picture of Ronnie. It looks like he's in an action film.
Yeah, doesn't he always?
This is wicked, mate. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, look at that autograph thing. I'm gonna get you to sign that on the day of your wedding.
I should have signed it, shouldn't I?
I'm bringing it to your wedding. I'm bringing it to your wedding. Don't you worry, mate. This is what I always forget. Right, is how thick this is as a bit of merch. This is.
I think it was £8 or something. It's really quite reasonable for what they put into it. So,
well, the number of times you spend £8 on a program, and it's a flimsy one that's about 5 pages. This is 114 pages. This could effectively be a book. Do you know what I mean? You get decent value for your money with this, I'd say. Very good value, actually.
And I think you will enjoy reading it. So,
Amazing. Thank you, mate. I won't cover it too much on the podcast because we talked about it in when you had it. But thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that.
that's
And
okay.
What's this?
And that's from the Crucible. Well, you open it and find out.
Hold on. Before we do that, we can just quickly go. Oh, I'm in an envelope, Joe. I'm ready to get posted. The new game I'm playing. What's this? Snooker Loopy, and it's got little balls with eyes on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is exciting. Oh, it's nothing inside. I thought there was going to be a message.
Well, no. I thought I'd just get you a nice Snooker Loopy card. I seen it in Sheffield. There was a stand that was selling Snooker Loopy cards, so I got one for me, Tom. I don't know if you can see it.
Did you wonder what that was in the background? The snooker thing?
So yeah, there's a Snooker Loopy card there, and one for you, a matching one. There you go. I didn't want to deface it with a message. So,
well, the lovely thing on the back, it says, you might not be able to see it there, but it just says, "In honor of Dan, who was a master of silliness." That's very sweet, isn't it?
There you go.
Don't know who Dan is, but how sweet is that?
I should have crossed out Dan and said "in honor of Joe," shouldn't I? Really.
You should do. I'll fix that for you later. But it's from Kate Cooper Photography, printed in Sheffield on recycled cards. So if you go to Kate Cooper Photography, you might be able to get yourself
a Snooker Loopy card.
This is so cool, isn't it? Like, I love it. I absolutely love this. I might frame it, put it on my wall.
I thought you might.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that.
You're very welcome. And those were two things I bought when I went to Sheffield. So, yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I mean, you're the only person I can give a Snooker Loopy card to, though. If I was going to gift, so in a way, you might end up getting it back.
Well, no, I didn't buy you the card to give to somebody else, Tom.
No, okay.
The card is for you.
Well, I've not
and
got
maybe
your
a
wedding
glimpse
card
into
yet,
the future of our merch of making birthday cards.
We should do that. Lovely,
yes.
Thank you, mate.
You're very welcome. So, shall we cue the music?
Yes, this may be less of a present this episode, but let's cue the music.
Let's do it then. So, Tom, you've brought it along today.
I have not.
Do
not set me up. Do not set me up like that. Before the podcast, Joe went, "Oh well, we could do one of the Big Bill Werbedack mixes." This is Joe who's requested this. It's the Hannard request.
This is nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you.
Joe really wanted to do the Romford Rap brackets Harewood the Wake mix, and so that is what we're going to do now. I mean, there's one more version of Snooker Loopy on this EP after this, so we're getting through it, Joe. I don't even know if the other version of Snooker Loopy is going to be worth it, so maybe this could be the last one.
I mean, it's pretty crazy that there's still two more to go, isn't it? You know, this is ridiculous. But yes, we've got the Romford Rap, which you might remember the original version, Tom, didn't perform that well. So it's not really boding well. It's currently at 48, the Romford Rap by Matchroom Mob. It got 4.5 as an average rating. Just to put it in perspective, some things that are better than it are Catch the Pigeon by Ken Doherty, Chasing Cars by Mark Selby, White Christmas by Dominic Dale, and even Snooker Loopy by Alexander Ursenbacher. So that puts into perspective how we feel about the Romford Rap. Now we're adding the whatever this is to it. So should we take it away, I suppose?
Let's do it. It's only 2 minutes 50. Let's get it finished with this song.
Get it done.
He's Tony, he's Steve, he's Neil, he's Jim, he's Terry, he's Dan, he's Willie. We're gonna do the Romford Rap for you. Know you might think it's silly, but believe you me, it's how they all talk snooker in the Matchroom Club. It's rhyming slang. Come on everybody, all pin back your lugs. Now to start the game, upon the cane there's 22 bugle calls. For those of you that are confused, that's 22 snooker balls. Now 15 of them are newlyweds, then you got the old rubber kite. Newlyweds, well they're the reds and the rubber kite's the white. It's the Romford rap, the Romford rap. Open up your trap and give me some of that. Whether you're a fatty or a tabby or a jump or a jet, whether you're yellow, green, brown, blue, pink or black, from Brixton, Bow or North with a Watford cap, you can do the Romford rap. Now the next ball's called a runner bean, another is an Ivor Novella. A runner bean, well that's the green, and the Ivor, that's the yellow. There's an eider down and a super glue, then you got the kitchen sink. The name of the black is a chimney stack, and that's the lot, I think. That's how to do the Romford rap, now you've all been clued in. We'll leave the rest to work out yourselves. Alright, let's begin. Now pick yourself an ice Asian flu. You can Hollywood the week. Hit that rubber straight down the cane. I tell you that's a piece of cake. Now spit out the bugles, and if you're lucky, mate, you might sky a newlywed. Then if you can't see your way to put the chimney, try to sink the kitchen instead. Now and again you get an awkward one, and a Georgie is required to try to sky another newlywed, or any bugle that's desired. If you're on form, you'll clear the cane for a maximum period. And if you ever do it on the Auntie Millie now, that would not be good. It's a Romford rap, the Romford rap. Open up your trap and give it some of that. Whether you're a fatty or a tabby or a jump or a jet, whether you're yellow, green, brown, blue, pink or black, from Brixton, Bow or North with a Watford gap, you can do the Romford rap. Whether you're a fatty or a tabby or a jump or a jet, whether you're yellow, green, brown, blue, pink or black, from Brixton, Bow or North with a Watford gap, you can do the Romford rap.
Oh, God.
So, Tom, how do you feel about all of that?
I mean, well, they've not improved it. I think listening to it again, I kind of really zoned in on why I don't like it, and partly it's because it does follow Snooker Loopy, which is such a brilliant song that encapsulates the silliness and it's very much about snooker and the characters of the time, whereas this one feels like it's more like 50% about snooker, 50% just about being a Cockney and random Cockney rhyming slang, and so it isn't actually about snooker as much as Snooker Loopy was. It's just about let's rhyme these things with this thing, and you just go like, yeah, but you know, instead of Willie Fawn making the joke about chalk in his head, we've got Jimmy White going, you might score a newlywed about potting the Red Bull. I don't care.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Yeah. Go on then. What rating are you giving it? Just to put it into context, Tom, you gave the Romford rap 4 from the Matchroom Mob.
Well, all they've done here, Joe, is all this remix is it's just sort of slightly high pitched and a bit fuzzy. They've not really done anything to improve it. They've just made it a bit more annoying. So I would consider that what they've done is they've tried to sort of do a fantastic shot to pot the black, but the cue ball has gone in. And so we'd take that 4 and we'll take 7 away, and it's a -3.
A -3. Wow. Okay, so that is your second lowest score. You gave the BBC snooker theme by the same people a -4. So there you go. I'm going to be honest, Tom. I actually rather enjoyed listening to that.
What? You didn't see you bobbing along, and I was like, is he listening to the same song?
I don't know why. I guess it's been so long since the silliness of the podcast has took over, and I just actually quite enjoyed bobbing along to it. Now, question is, did I enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the original Romford rap, which I gave a 5? And I think what was lacking here was the video and them all in their different coloured outfits. So I'm going to drop it a mark for that. But I'm actually going to give it a 4, Tom. I'm going to give it a 4, which doesn't really change a lot. It moves it up 1 place. It gives it an average score of 0.5. But for some reason, Tom, I just enjoyed that a little bit more than I normally do. So... yeah, we'll stick with that, I guess. It moves it up 1 spot to 58. So it is ahead of the BBC Snooker theme. But that's it. It's still behind the Snooker Loopy version and Hurricane Hoggins, of course, as well. And it's behind Minted by Jimmy White. So
Listen to 4 songs off this EP, and the best song is Hurricane Hoggins. That is the best. Hurricane Hoggins is the highlight, and it's 40 seconds long.
They're currently 56, 57, 58, and 59 in the charts, Tom. So, yeah. And we've got Jimmy White just above that, and then just above that, and I mean just above that, is Alex Higgins' Great Niece. So, you know.
My head shifted a lot there. You said Alex Higgins, and I was like, I can't believe we put 147 so low. That's an outrage. And you said Great Niece, and I was like, oh yeah, that was rubbish. No,
147 is 31, proudly 31 on here. But there you go. Let us know your ratings at home. Yeah, you know, as I say, I think that was my favourite one of the of the remixes so far. So. I'll be intrigued to know what anybody else thinks about it. Or maybe I'm just insane. Who knows?
I think it's the latter. I think you've been driven.
It is probably the latter, isn't it?
Joe has gone Snooker Loopy, officially.
Some fairly exciting gaming news over the last couple of months, Tom. Obviously, the makers of Pure Pool are making a new game, aren't they? For the PS5. I think it's called Pure Pool Pro or something like that. So potentially there might be a snooker DLC to that in the future. Certainly seen a few replies to that in the comments. So something maybe in the pipeline over the next couple of years, if we might be able to play some snooker on a PlayStation 5 console. Who knows? And also, Stephen Hendry played Snooker 19 in one of his most recent videos.
Did he?
So he was testing out weird snooker gadgets. Is what he's done a couple of videos on that, and Snooker 19 was one of the features of that. It was a very, very quick clip. It was, maybe a minute and a half of him playing Snooker 19, but he played it and he gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So there you go.
Who did he play as? Do we know? Because he can't be himself.
I think he played as Ronnie and played against Judd Trump, but.
He's not even messed around with different characters there. I wanted him to be Luke Simmons or something weird like that.
I've never even heard of him. But there you go. So there it is. I guess that's it for the podcast return and the start of the season. Things like you're looking forward to coming up this year.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Ronnie can rediscover his form as a married man. I mean, he'll hopefully be able to get back to his best and play some good snooker. It'll be intriguing to see how Jing Tong, of course, follows on from being a world champion and being back on tour. Very unprecedented as a thing to happen, but we'll see how that bodes and how well he plays. And just generally, it's going to be good to see, how Kyron Wilson continues as not world champion. Whether Luca Brissell can get his arse into gear and actually turn up to a match. He's dropped out of 2 matches so far. It doesn't endear you to him as a snooker fan, I think, if he doesn't respect the sport. And I know people might say similar about Ronnie, but Ronnie's a very different character and was a very, very different circumstances to Luca, who, you know, I don't know. It seems like he's tried less since becoming world champion, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But hey.
Well, I tell you what, Tom. Since I think we've got a little bit of time in hand. Why don't we do something a little bit different here to end off? And why don't we do some predictions for the season? So, I'll come up with some awards, I guess. So we can have the Triple Crown winners. So we'll have UK champion, Masters. Worlds, end of season number 1, first time ranking winner, and any other awards you can think of there?
Maybe like most improved player.
Okay. So, highest ranking jump, should we say?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Right. So, UK champion. I guess that's the first big tournament of the season. Obviously, we don't know how people are playing. But who would you say you are backing? Obviously, it was... Who won it this year? It was Judd Trump, wasn't it, who won it? This year or last year, and Ronnie O'Sullivan won it the year before that. Ding's obviously got a very good record there.
I'm going to back Sean Murphy.
Ooh, Sean Murphy. Nice one. I'm going to go for Kyron Wilson. I think he will be back to his best around about then. The Masters, obviously defending champion Sean Murphy. I'm going to go for Ronnie for that one. I think he's going to make a triumphant return to Ali Pali.
I'm going to go for Higgins.
Ooh, John Higgins. I assume
No,
John
Alex
Higgins.
Alex Higgins.
We'll come back to world champion. Who is going to be end of season world number 1?
Judd Trump.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's going to be actually very difficult for anybody to beat him unless somebody like Kyron went on a run. Who are you backing to be a first-time ranking event winner?
I've got 2 in mind, but I'm going to go with Joe O'Connor.
Oh, you took mine.
You can have it as well if you want.
No, I feel like I have to go something different. You know what? Let's bygones be bygones and all of that. Elliot Slessor.
No way! I can't believe he said it. Oh my god.
Just because I think he'll end up winning the shootout or something stupid like that. Or the Championship League ranking event. Actually, no, I'm changing mine. So Jack Jones. Highest ranking jump. Now I'm going to go Marco Fu because I think he's playing quite well, and he was very unlucky not to be in the top 64 last season. I wouldn't be surprised if Marco Fu went quite far in a ranking event this season and ended up having a big jump.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. See, in my head, I think either go for someone who just missed out on the top 64, and so you want someone who's ranked 66 but technically has dropped down so they can go up, or you go for someone who was just in the 64 and has been on a roll. And for that reason, I'm going to go for Zach Surety.
That's a good bet. Good bet. Right, so ultimate question. Who is going to be the world champion of 2026?
Uh, Ding Junhui.
Oh, oof! It was going so well. I'm gonna get on the Ronnie married Ronnie happy train, and I'm gonna say Ronnie O'Sullivan's gonna get his 8th world title at the end of the season, and maybe call it a day. Who knows? Who knows?
You say this every year. I'm sure you do every year.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Ronnie's going to win the world championship. So there it is. We'll keep that safe for the end of the season, and we'll see how many of those predictions we get right. I think we'll try and do a points-based system again. So maybe 10 points if you get it perfect. If you're close, we'll give it 8 and scale it down that way. So like if Ronnie makes it to the world final, we'll give him 8 points, for instance, and scale it down from there. But hopefully you've enjoyed that first delve into the season. Let us know your predictions and what you're looking forward to. Of course, get involved with the email address below, snookerloopypodcast@gmail.com. Of course, this is the season, Tom. I'm going to the World Championship final, so I'm very, very excited for that.
There we go. You'll be counting down the days already.
Yeah. Crossing them out. On my
Fantastic.
Stuart Bingham calendar.
Oh, they should make an official Stuart Bingham calendar. Just him and his hot tub every single month.
Every month, not every day. We don't need a day calendar of just 365 pictures of Stuart Bingham in his hot tub.
Well, it could be fun.
Work like a stop motion thing. You could have him like walking towards and getting in, and by the end of the year, he's sat there in his hot tub with his woo woo. Yeah.
I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. If anyone can make that, Banksy.
But yeah, pleasure as always, Tom.
You too, mate, and hope everyone enjoys the start of the season. Stay safe in the heat if you're in the UK, because it's really hot at the moment. And, look out for Joe and his new cue. He's making waves.
Goodbye, everyone.